Oh man, so I told you guys not to move out of your altcoins, and Solana is up 20%, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Let's take a look at what's going on. So Solana is sitting at about $190. We're going to move over to the charts very shortly. That's a 21% pickup over the last 24 hours. And this is why it's critical that you be smart with your portfolio allocation. I cannot stress that enough. 20% on your Solana right now is exactly why we need to have smart allocations in our portfolio. Bitcoin's delivered 50% over the last 30 days, which is amazing, but Solana's given you 20% in 24 hours, and it's just the start, right? It's breaking out of a key pattern, which I'm going to share with you right now. So let's take a look at the Solana charts, and I want to zoom out to the daily because this is going to become very evident to you. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, you can see we had this massive move up after bouncing off our 200 EMA, and we headed up, we got rejected by the 216 level, and we entered a continuation pattern. This is a bullish symmetrical triangle, which suggests that we can continue higher, and we just were waiting for our breakout. So let's go to the hourly chart because we are now getting that amazing breakout which we were looking for, but we got a bit of a trick first, and this is something I want to point out to particularly those lesser experienced here in technical analysis and trading. You can see exactly what happened here. So we were trading, we respected the larger red wedge nicely, okay, and you can see we bounced to the bottom. We got a little bit of a fake out here, came back in, and we entered this channel, which I've drawn here in the white lines, right? So I had this upward channel, and I needed this channel to lead us to the edge of the wedge, because that's how we were going to get our breakout. And it was going well. We're creating higher lows and higher highs, and then suddenly we got this breakdown. Right? We lost our wedge and it looked like we were going to break to the downside. And if we did, your price target would have been at the bottom of the wedge at 138 before breaking out of the larger red symmetrical triangle, right? But this is what happened, and this is why you need to be careful, because these are the games that traders play. So if you're playing this on the short time frame, they faked you out on the wedge. It looked like you were going to break to the downside, and then boom, straight up in a couple of hours it's gone, right? And then you've missed your opportunity to get that breakout on this. So not only did we break out this wedge, we've gone straight out of the triangle, so we're now broken out of the red symmetrical triangle, and now we've got a price target of up to 242 on Solana, okay? So that would take us well across all-time highs and is a beautiful continuation pattern for us on Solana. Now, let me just show you, before showing you one key risk to the downside, I just want to show you how bullish Solana is looking on the daily chart. Guys, look at that. If ever there was a beautiful chart on a daily chart, look at how that's respecting the EMA ribbon. It bounced off the EMA ribbon, massive run up, fine. We got rejected, we come back down, got some support from EMA ribbon, tried to go again. We know Bitcoin was having its strength, so we calmed down a bit, get some respect, and now we're going to break higher. We've created a higher high there. Okay, so we've gone higher than this peak here, which is fantastic. And the next level for it to go and test is, one, get through this resistance here, right? There's always a little bit of resistance at 190 to 195 for Solana, but then head straight up to 216 to create an all-time high. So we want to see volume come in, decent volume right now, but not quite the volume we saw in the first run-up. So let's see some volume come in. We've got room on the RSI. We're not completely redlining on the RSI, which is fantastic. And you can see this EMA ribbon is acting like really good support. So we never once flip bearish on our daily. Let's take a look at the 4-hourly chart. And you can see here, this is the big moment, because this is where we got that fake out to the downside, and it looked like we were going to flip bearish, right? And that would have triggered a lot of people's stop losses. It would have fooled a lot of people to think, open up short positions, and then boom, they flipped it the other way, liquidated them all, and got a bunch of momentum to the upside. That's how these games work, guys. They want you to set up your short positions, and then the bulls come in, rotate it back the other way, liquidate all your positions, which is extra ignition to this fire to send it back up. So really strong set of 4-hourly candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of 4-hourly, 8, 9 as well. So you got like 10 clear green 4-hourly candles on Solana, and Solana's just getting heated up. So really exciting for Solana there. Now, one thing I want to point out to you on the hourly chart, let's remove the EMA ribbon. And let's come back to our view. So please don't be surprised if we come and get a retest, guys. That's the big thing I want to say here. This has gone straight out, and it looks like I wouldn't be surprised if we get because this is a resistance level anyway, 190. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes and tries to collect some support from somewhere. Okay, the worst case scenario will come and test it back at the wedge, which I'd expect. I'd want to be prepared for that. But also, let's see where else we can gather some support from. So if we come back, we can see we've got a little bit of support here at the top of the wedge, 167. Where's our, let's zoom out. There we go. That's the one we're looking for. So that's our support there at 177. Okay, so don't be surprised if we see a little bit of a cooling off. Let it get rejected from 190. Let it come back down to 177 where we had that support level, and let's trigger back higher and head to 216 and all-time highs. That's what I'd want to be looking for from Solana. Beautiful pattern, beautiful breakout, and a lovely trading pattern there on Solana. Let's also take a look at Ethereum, because Ethereum broke out of the similar symmetrical triangle shape, and it's headed on higher. But we know Ethereum's move is different, because Ethereum on the daily scale was forming this huge inverse head and shoulders pattern, right, which we've been talking about for a long time on this channel. And Ethereum is heading towards the price target we set of $4,500, right? So 4,500 for Ethereum, and it's got a this is such a beautiful pattern, guys. You know, if you're new to trading, please study this pattern. This is the kind of stuff you want to be picking up. Beautiful. Let's bring this down and let's study this. So you can see we created first left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We broke out, right? So a lot of people would have placed their positions, but you need to be expecting a retest. And when we get the retest, the move is so much better when you've had the retest, guys. So that's why I always say on the first confirmation of breakout, feel free to put in a bit of your position, right? 50%, 25% of your position, fine. But when you get the retest and you then get the bounce back, which breaks your previous high back from there, that's when you want to load up on your position and go heavier. If you want a video explaining this in more detail, please comment below. I can make a separate video on kind of these entry levels and how to put these positions together. But really strong setup from Ethereum. Like I said, I said this a couple of days ago. I said I would not be surprised if Ethereum moves whilst Bitcoin is moving. And Bitcoin moved yesterday and Ethereum moved as well, because this pattern is so beautiful and traders will want to trade this pattern. And same for Solana as well. So yes, there's altcoin season and Bitcoin season, which is the macro over weeks and months, right? But on the daily, when you get patterns like this forming, traders will trade these patterns and therefore they will work, right? People will be trading this pattern to head up, and therefore you'll see the volume come in and you'll see the movement. They're not going to just ignore this pattern forming. People are going to want to be entering in this position here, and that's why you're seeing these pumps up. So really bullish setup for Ethereum, and I can see Ethereum really blasting through all-time highs very shortly, which is that green line there, 4387. And really see Ethereum heading straight to that price target of 4,500. Let's take a look at the weekly, because we've not... where was my other Ethereum chart? There we go. So let's take a look at this chart, because this is where I set my Fibonacci lines for my longer term price target of Ethereum. And you can see I've got a crazy target of 6,000 at the 1.618 mark on Ethereum, right? So that's what we want to be looking out for. Lovely target there for Ethereum. You can see how this has been trading is really beautiful. Come back down, got support from the zero level. Here at the golden pocket, 786, back down to the 0.5 level, headed back up. It's going to have a little bit of a fight here to push through, head over to our 4,500 target, which is what we said, break that, and then we need to start consolidating. We might get a retracement and head back higher to that target. But longer term, 6,000 is definitely a doable target on Ethereum. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin as well. We can't ignore Bitcoin. Let's see where we're at on Bitcoin. And you can see Bitcoin is still sitting comfortably above all-time highs. We've not lost it, which is fantastic. But like I said, we could be getting a bit of a cooling off. And I wouldn't be surprised. We're not seeing that yet. The daily candle's still green on Bitcoin. Please don't be surprised if we get a little bit of a cooling off. Nothing wrong with that. Perfectly healthy for us to come back down, retest the all-time high, which we broke, which is kind of what we saw yesterday. Actually, we saw that in the three red candles, and this is perfect, guys. This is exactly what you want. No complaints whatsoever. We broke out, we're calling off, broke out, get a bit of a calling off, and go again, right? Just need to get a higher high off. We need to be above. We want to break through 67,000 on the next rally up, and then that's all good. Let's take a look. It's easier from this chart. So had you break out, call off, push out again through all-time highs, call off, retest, call off. And the reason I want to retest this, and I made this clear in my videos yesterday, is very important that we back test this 6486 mark. This 64,800 level mark was a key resistance line for a long time, guys. And it's really important that we come back and retest it, because we're going to need it. When the market goes for a run to 100 and it wants to retrace back down, we need to be confident that we're not going to lose this mark, right? Very important. Just how in, let's take a look here. Let's see if I can explain this a little bit clearly. Just how when we ran up to here, the all-time highs, and we came down, we didn't lose this mark of 29,000. This was our floor, right? And then this time round, we created a floor here at about 40,000, right? We did, if you remember, we spoke about it on this channel. Bitcoin bulls would not allow the price to fall below 40. So in my mind, we've got two really clear floors for the Bitcoin price. Like, I can go to sleep quite comfortably today saying very unlikely I'm going to wake up tomorrow and the price be below 40. Even more astronomically unlikely that it'll be below 30, right? They're two really stable floors. Now, the next job and the next mission for Bitcoin is to turn this all-time high mark, which we've just broken, the 64,800 mark, into a floor. It needs to become our new floor so we can bounce off it many times. We feel confident. If we go to 100 and get a retracement back down to 64,800, it's fine, right? We know we're going to bounce off with more vengeance. That's what I want to see. And I know that's very long-term thinking, and that's not what people are thinking right now. They just want to see us run. But let's get our Bitcoin chart out with our fibs as well, because I'll show you exactly what I'm showing you here, which is, let me clear this line here. But you can see what my target is for Bitcoin. You saw my target for Bitcoin in the cup and handle pattern was 75. You saw, let me show you that actually from here first. This video is going to become longer than we expected, guys. We don't want an 11-day time frame. It's not what I asked for. 1 day. Right, so we can see here the first target from our cup and handle pattern takes us to 75. You saw the second pattern, which is big violet wedge, takes us to 85. Okay, so remember those two price targets, because when you look at your Fibonacci levels on Bitcoin, and I'm going to switch over to the weekly so you can see this very clearly, you can see that this is in perfect confluence with our target here sitting at 87. Now 1.272 mark sits at 75, which is where we're heading towards, and that's what I want to see in Bitcoin. So I want to see us head up. We may get some resistance here once we get to 75. That's fine. Even come back and collect support, like I said, from our all-time highs, right? Let me just move us in the middle so I can draw nicely. So even if we go back up, we get to our 75 mark, we come back down to our 64 level, that's about here, that's perfectly fine. And then we can head higher, go test 80, right? Come back down, back to our floor, get some support. Now, this is what you want. This is what's sustainable for us to get to 80 and then build above it, right? It's not going to be realistic for us to do this. If you do this, you're going to do this, right? Because you've not built the floor at that level. Your next floor is all the way down here at 42. So if you want to run up here quickly, that's fine for the short term if you're going to sell. But if you're holding Bitcoin for a long time, you can easily fall back down to 42 because that's our last floor. So we really need to establish a floor there. Hope that makes sense, guys. Like I mentioned, Bitcoin dominance had quite a few 4-hourly candles to the downside, but it's still a concern for me for altcoins. It's like, so I do want to mention this to you. Don't be fooled by this small 12-hour stint here where the dominance cooled down. You can already see we're getting a little bit of a bounce on our channel. Let me extend this because we're running out of space. Let's extend this so we don't forget. So you can see here we're getting a nice bounce off this level. There you go, it's respected that level perfectly. And we're getting that bounce off there now, okay? So you can see that's what's happening here. Now, I would not be surprised. We've got to remember, what is the larger pattern? The larger pattern is we're still seeing a W shape in the Bitcoin dominance, which suggests Bitcoin can continue to get massively more stronger. If it breaks this W pattern, it can get massively stronger from here. So I would not be panicking and selling my Bitcoin now into altcoins, and I would not be doing the opposite when Bitcoin runs. So you got to be level-headed. You got to be, just as altcoins are running today and Solana went up 20%, it doesn't mean that's just the start. It could be, but what I'm saying is both can move, right? Bitcoin can suddenly go again today up to 75, and Ethereum could equally go crazy on its target, and so could Solana, right? Which is why you allocate your portfolio, you put as much as you can in each of those, not financial advice, and do and put it into your high conviction place. I'm not the one that's going to be timing this. I made that clear from the beginning. And if you want to do that, then good luck. But you can see people panicking right now because they literally sold all their altcoins at useless prices to get into Bitcoin. Bitcoin's pumped up a little bit now. They're going to sell their Bitcoin, try to get into altcoins. But let's say you want to get into a Solana. You're getting into Solana 20% more now. So all your gains in Bitcoin, you've just eradicated it. So very, very short-term thinking. Get into your high conviction plays. I did guide you guys through that as it was happening. So hopefully you were watching these videos, you were subscribed, you had the notification bell on, and obviously you hit the like button for me. Can you do that? Thank you. Appreciate it. And there you go, guys. I hope you enjoy this blend between technical and fundamental analysis. If you do, you guys know what to do. Don't forget there's a join button there if you want to join and become a member of this channel. Not only will you get some lovely emojis where you can spam the chat below with your favorite altcoins, but more importantly, you'll get access to the community feed. And on the community feed, you'll be able to ask me questions on your favorite altcoins, ask me to do some TA on any altcoins which you're invested in or which you like, or any other project for that matter, and I'll be there attentive to that. I'll also pin the link to the new public Discord channel we've set up. Let's get a whole bunch of like-minded people in there. Let's get the community going. Let's share charts. Let's share diagrams. Let's share TA. Let's share our favorite projects and fundamentals. I've set up individual channels for all your favorite coins. You can go in there and share data, share news articles, share your charting patterns. Head over there. Let's communicate. I'll be there too. And I'll see you in the next video.